This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. It looks like tensions are rising between the United States and the UK over free speech, and it involves Catherine now. Let me get into this story. You're not going to believe what is going on. So yesterday, I saw this post come up in my feed by a representative of the House of Representatives, Anna Paulina Luna, where she writes, "If STARMER is successful in banning X in Britain, I will move forward with legislation that is currently being drafted to sanction not only STARMER, but Britain as a whole. This would mirror actions previously taken by the United States in response to foreign governments restricting the platform, including the dispute with Brazil in 2024-2025, which resulted in tariffs, visa revocations, and sanctions and consequences tied to free speech concerns against Brazilian officials over concerns related to censorship and free speech violations. STARMER should reconsider this course of action, or there will be consequences." There are always technical bugs during the early phases of new technology, especially AI, and those issues are typically addressed quickly. X treats these matters seriously and acts promptly. Let's be clear, this is not about technical compliance. This is a political war against Elon Musk and free speech. Nothing more. This is in response to the Telegraph reporting yesterday that Britain could ban Elon Musk's X amid a row over its AI undressing women and children in photographs. Keir Starmer said yesterday that he had asked media regulator Ofcom for all options to be on the table after it emerged that child sexual abuse images had been generated using X's AI chatbot, Grok. Number 10 sources pointed to the full powers of the Online Safety Act, which include fines of billions of pounds or even blocking access to X in Britain. The social media site has around 650 million users worldwide, including 20 million in the UK. The Prime Minister said, "This is disgraceful, it's disgusting, and it's not to be tolerated. X need to get their act together and get this material down, and we will take action on this because it's simply not tolerable." The warning came as X users continued to generate thousands of pictures of women and children undressed using Grok's AI, including in sexualized poses and in bikinis. The so-called deepfakes have included images of the Princess of Wales, cabinet ministers, MPs, and celebrities. On Wednesday, a UK internet watchdog warned it had uncovered images created with Grok that had been shared on a dark web forum that would constitute illegal child sexual abuse material. It is understood that Number 10 has erased the images directly with X, formerly known as Twitter, which Mr. Musk acquired for $44 billion in 2022. Sir Keir told Greatest Hits Radio, "X has got to get a grip of this, and Ofcom has our full support to take action in relation to this. This is wrong. It's unlawful. We're not going to tolerate it. I've asked for all options to be on the table." The row threatens to deepen a rift with the U.S. over free speech. The White House has accused Labor of backsliding over freedom of expression, and Donald Trump has directly criticized the UK's tech rules as not a good thing. On Thursday, Sarah B. Rogers, the U.S. Secretary of State for Public Diplomacy, said, "Deepfakes are a troubling frontier issue that call for tailored, thoughtful responses. Erecting a Great Wall to ban X or lobotomizing AI is neither tailored nor thoughtful. We stand ready to work with the UK on better ideas." Mr. Musk, who is the world's richest man, has criticized Britain's Online Safety Act, claiming the law's purpose is the suppression of the people. Under the Act, British officials have the power to bar access to social media sites that repeatedly fail to take down illegal images such as child abuse material or revenge porn. Ofcom, the technology watchdog, can apply for a court order called an access restriction order, requiring internet companies such as BT or smartphone app stores to block offending sites and apps from the UK. So far, it has never used the power. The regulator would be required to follow a legal process before applying for a ban, which would include an investigation and a provisional ruling. If a company refuses to address Ofcom's concerns, it can seek to block the company's website from the UK. Ofcom warned this week that it could launch an investigation into X over the images and said it had made urgent contact with the social media site. Researchers found that X users have been generating thousands of AI images of women per hour, which typically involve commenting beneath a picture with the phrase such as, "put her in a bikini." X's Grok chatbot will then respond, generating a sexualized picture of a real woman without her consent. Separately, on Thursday, CNN reported that Mr. Musk had ordered staff at XAI, his AI business, to loosen the guardrails on Grok. A source said he had told a meeting he was unhappy about over-censoring. 3 XAI safety team members left the business soon after. Louise Haig, a former transport secretary under Sir Keir Starmer, urged the government and the Labour Party to delete its X accounts. She said the enablement, if not encouragement, of child sexual abuse means it is unconscionable to use the site for another minute. X's images have also provoked anger in the U.S. Ted Cruz, a Republican senator, called the AI pictures unacceptable and a violation of a U.S. law banning AI revenge porn. Mr. Musk said this week anyone using Grok to make illegal content will suffer the same consequences as if they upload illegal content. X was reached for comment. And that's the end of what the Telegraph reported that has now started to spiral online. This is a full-blown media campaign against Elon Musk to get him banned. And what we are seeing now from the Labour side and the UK are calls to ban this social media platform. And that's because they don't like that they don't have the control over the narratives that they want to force onto their people. They don't want people talking about the influx of people coming into the country, tearing it down, as well as raping the children. And I found out that the reason why yesterday's video, which was the best video out of this little mini-series about Imran Ahmed, is not doing so well as far as views is because I am talking about the M word. The M word apparently is one of those forbidden words to which the algorithm does suppress you. And that has something to do very much so with what is going on in the UK around restricting speech. You see, YouTube is on board with bending over and abiding by these censorship laws. You see, X is not, and that's why they're going after him. Now, of course, Dame Caroline Dinenage, or I like to call her Dingleberry, the one who's responsible for getting the Online Safety Act passed through, decided to weigh in and say, "The widespread sharing of child sexual abuse material on X is unacceptable. Ofcom must do more to fulfill its duties under the Online Safety Act. The government cannot be a light touch when it comes to clamping down on child sex abuse. It has to hold platforms accountable." Well, of course, you think Elon Musk supports that? Obviously, he nipped that in the bud, but nobody seems to be paying attention to that. Their goal is to take down this platform. Remember, this is the same woman that when the Online Safety Act received its royal assent, went ahead and sent letters to every social media platform telling them that they had to deplatform and demonetize Russell Brand, all because he was being accused of something that he vehemently denies that he did. Didn't even give him a chance to be proven guilty. They automatically went after him to get him taken down because they didn't like the things that he was saying. Now, once again, I hope people can see that they are using the children as the excuse to drive this censorship. A lot of this reporting that we're seeing going on in the media from these leftist organizations is not entirely truthful. This is 100% an attack campaign against Elon Musk. Nobody's saying anything about Maduro being put in a bikini. Did anybody ask for his permission? Or what about Keir Starmer? A lot of these suggestive images were coming from the females themselves. And a majority of these images are of women who are AI generated, so they're not even real. Now, don't get me wrong, any type of image that is created sexualizing a child should be outright banned. I don't disagree with that. As I've said before, they don't care about the kids. If they really did care about them and stopping this type of abuse content on social media platforms, then they would also go after Blue Sky, who is a far worse offender of this type of illegal content living on a social media platform. But for some reason, it's the only social media app that Australia chose not to include in its social media ban of 16 and under. Going after Elon Musk is not about protecting the children. as I said from the very beginning. And it just so happened that this media campaign against X started with the royal family. This all started back on January 5th, where the Telegraph once again puts out an article about Princess Catherine. The headline is very misleading. It says Elon Musk's X is facing an investigation in Britain after the social media company was found to have been generating non-consensual photos of undressed women, including the Princess of Wales. Now, we know this is coming from the royalists, because if this was on the left, they would be calling her Kate. The article says Elon Musk's X is facing an investigation in Britain after the social media company was found to have been generating non-consensual photos of undressed women, including the Princess of Wales. Ofcom said it made urgent contact with X over whether it was complying with online safety laws. The regulator said it would quickly decide whether to investigate the company. It comes after Grok, X's artificial intelligence chatbot, was found to be generating images of the princess in a bikini. She wasn't undressed, naked, or anything like that. She was just asked to be put in a bikini. In at least 4 cases, the bot would redraw existing photographs of the princess to create realistic images of her in swimwear. It comes amid a deepfake storm surrounding Grok. In recent days, the bot's image generation feature has created thousands of images of women and children in states of undress or in sexually suggestive poses, often producing several per minute. An Ofcom spokesman said, tackling illegal online harm and protecting children remain urgent priorities for Ofcom. We are aware of serious concerns raised about a feature on Grok on X that produces undressed images of people and sexualized images of children. We have made urgent contact with X and XAI, its artificial intelligence division, to understand what steps they have taken to comply with their legal duties to protect users in the UK. Based on their response, we will undertake a swift assessment to determine whether there are potential compliance issues that warrant investigation. An Ofcom investigation could stoke further tensions with Donald Trump's White House, which has criticized online safety laws and recently suspended a tech agreement over threats that the UK would crack down on American-owned chatbots. Ministers have criticized X and Mr. Musk for allowing users to exploit women and vowed to make it illegal to generate intimate images of people using artificial intelligence. On Friday, Alex Davies-Jones, the Minister for Domestic Violence and Safeguarding, tweeted at Mr. Musk saying, "If you care so much about women, why are you allowing X users to exploit them? Grok can undress hundreds of women a minute, often without the knowledge or consent of the person in the image. We're making the creation of unconsensual intimate images illegal in the UK." Kensington Palace did not comment on the images, which are redrawn versions of pictures of the princess that were taken at public engagements. The Prince and Princess of Wales have fought multiple privacy battles against paparazzi. Now, the next part tells me everything I need to know about the royals' involvement this whole entire time around this movement to curb people's speech. The first red flag, right here. If indeed there were images generated of Princess Catherine, I think this would be something that Prince William would speak up about and even threaten lawsuit if somebody did that. Secondly, what they say next in this article does flow in line with everything that Harry and Meghan had been doing over here in the United States. So the Prince and Princess of Wales have fought multiple privacy battles against the paparazzi, right? Last year, they won a privacy claim against Paris Match after it published grossly intrusive photographs of them on a skiing holiday with their 3 children. Now, this is the next part that did it for me. The Prince and Princess have been vocal campaigners on online safety, calling for social networks to do more to protect users and warn against excessive screen time. And guess who else, coincidentally, is talking about screen time?
You on how the digital space is deeply affecting our collective and mental, emotional, and physical health. And obviously, a huge congratulations to you and the outcome of your research, which has created a parent-led movement, which is astonishing and much needed.
And that we're proud to be a part of.
Yeah, hugely.
Yes.
And your insights have been incredibly valuable over the years for our work with parents who have lost their children to online harms.
Yes.
and working towards solutions to keep all children safe. Can you speak to how the phone-based childhood, as you call it, affects kids' emotional development and what families can do to support healthier patterns?
Kids need to play. All mammals play. And once they get the device, it's going to push out everything else. They're going to have less sleep. They're going to stop reading books. They're going to stop spending so much time with other kids. They're not going to get as much sunshine, not as much exercise. So as they get more and more into a screen-based life, all the things that children need to do get pushed down and pushed out by these screen activities that are engineered for addiction.
We need to help our kids develop human skills and human relationships. And both of us have done a lot of research on human flourishing, what it takes to have a meaningful and full life. And relationships, human relationships, are at the top of that.
What people don't realize is that Harry and Meghan have been lockstep in line with the royals this entire time. From the very beginning in 2016, I believe, this was way before Meghan entered the picture. Prince William met with YouTube and other tech giants to talk about the harms online and actually started this and trying to stop fake news. I mean, it sounds very familiar to the mission that Harry and Meghan have been on here in the United States. So my guess is that this was handed over to Harry and Meghan to carry out here in the United States. This article continues and it says, last year, the Duchess of Edinburgh, Prince William's aunt, warned European politicians that AI was being used to generate child sex abuse imagery. Yes, she spoke on behalf of the organization that is partnered with Archewell Fugazi Parents Network. Remember that. In December, the government promised to ban deepfake tools, saying they devastate young people's lives. Users often reply to existing images posted on the social network asking Grok to put her in a bikini or use language that bypasses its safety systems to generate sexually suggestive imagery. Mr. Musk has said that anyone using Grok to make illegal content will suffer the same consequences as if they upload illegal content. X's safety account said on Sunday, "We take action against illegal content on X, including CSAM, by removing it, permanently suspending accounts, and working with local governments and law enforcement as necessary. Creating and sharing deepfake images is already illegal under the Online Safety Act, and social networks must take steps to stop their spread. Companies can be fined up to 10 a PC, of their worldwide revenue, which would be hundreds of millions of pounds in X's case for violations. French and Malaysian authorities have already said they are investigating this matter." This is definitely a campaign because the moment that People magazine enters the chat, it's over for me. Essentially parroting the same talking points aside from calling her Kate Middleton. Now, we might think that it's Meghan, but I believe that the reason why they continue to keep doing it is because America sees her as Kate Middleton. You know, many Americans just don't respect the royals in the way that many of us who talk about the royals do. This is 100% a campaign because you would think that if, let's say, these images were generated, people in this community would come out and defend Catherine, especially if it was a squatty that did it. There is no trace that these photos had popped up and were causing a ruckus. The people reporting all of this were the BBC, Rolling Stone magazine, Reuters, all the traditional leftist media outlets that report the propaganda for Harry and Meghan have in their pockets are the same ones that reported allegedly seeing these so-called photos that no one seems to know where they came from, especially when you ask Grok to find who are the people that generated these so-called images. They don't have any information on that, okay? Now, the reason why I believe Catherine's name was used in this instance is because she's highly popular. Who wouldn't empathize if this happened to somebody that is beloved amongst the people? You know, it's very telling that Buckingham Palace chose not to comment in this situation, because it probably is not true. Because if it was, there definitely would have been a statement saying that, yeah, they're reviewing the information and engaging with appropriate legal resources or something to that effect. If this was real, I don't buy it for 1 second. Make no mistake, This is about, and to use the phrase from the CCDH, to kill Musk's Twitter. And I wouldn't be surprised if Imran Ahmed and CCDH were behind this. I guarantee that they're going to capitalize on this. And we're going to see some taxpayer-funded Fugazi report coming out shortly. This is 100% a coordinated campaign, because even here in People it says the Princess of Wales was reportedly a target. So People never saw this evidence, and the same with all these other news outlets. But it says here, this unknown journalist, Samantha Smith, told the BBC that seeing the images left her feeling dehumanized and reduced into a sexual stereotype. For all we know, it was this journalist who generated the images herself. Like, there is no grounds to believe any of this information being put out. Yes, it is happening of other people and of actual AI images that are not even real people. But the Princess of Wales, I guarantee this did not happen. And even if it did, it's not like there aren't pictures of Catherine out there already wearing a bikini. The squatties share that all over the place, but nobody says anything about that. You know what I mean? It's not like they have this picture generated and Catherine was in compromising positions. Like, why aren't they talking about the adult sites that have deepfakes of Meghan? That's far worse than Catherine in a bikini. It's because they want to go after X. That's it. And the royals are not going to go ahead and say anything to clarify this, because it's doing exactly what this media campaign is intended to do, to put pressure on X in efforts to shut it down. And Harry and Meghan coincidentally come out of nowhere talking about the same thing? Like, we need to stop buying into, oh, Meghan is like at war with these people. I honestly am starting to think that this has been nothing but one giant show. And if Harry is allowed to go back home and welcome back into the fold, then you know all of this was bullshit. But that's just my opinion. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
Such a fraud.